So Gotcha Smack gotta be the only person in the world that didn't enjoy Wuthering Waves 3.1. And that's coming from somebody who doesn't usually enjoy Wuthering Waves or a lot of gotcha stories. This one was really good. Some are saying it might even be the best. But anyway, as somebody who started writing their own stories, I think a lot of people miss some of the details, like the subtlety of Aemeath's personality. It's a lot darker and deeper than I think people talk about, and so that's what I want to talk about. So I do a lot of research on personality types for writing purposes, and there's this thing called the Myers-Briggs personality test, which it's not super scientific or official, but it's basically the main way people universally break down personality types. You can apply it to real life, but also fictional characters. Aemeath's personality is very unique, bubbly, radiant, and outgoing. If we were to judge it based on the Myers-Briggs test, Aemeath would be something like an ENFP or an ESFP, which the same types of characters that have this personality trait would be somebody like a Naruto. So she's a very optimistic, outgoing, almost like the main character of a shonen anime. But what's even more interesting about this is that she's kind of fucking crazy. The problem with Aemeath is that her personality is very childlike, almost too childlike for somebody her age.
You know how to modify bikes. You pick up a few things when you come here as often as I do.
Oh, I used to love riding. My friends even called me the Speed Queen. Though that was usually while they were white-knuckling the seat and screaming.
Even the way she handles negative emotions is very childlike. She hides things from people. She doesn't confront things head on. She tends to sweep things under the rug or tries to handle things herself, kind of like a child not trying to get in trouble before the parent finds out.
I just don't... What exactly are you hiding from me?
You don't.
What?
I will protect
Bro,
you.
what are you talking about, man?
Why did you keep this from me?
Because it would have been awkward. Imagine someone you don't remember runs up to you, all smiles, saying, "Long time no see. I'm the kid you used to look after."
Stop, Aemeath.
I told you to stay out of this.
It's also a bit bipolar, the way she can be very happy one moment and then sad the next moment.
Isn't that kind of laughable? Where's your sense of humor? Isn't it absurd? The sheer ridiculousness of everyone ignoring the fact that it's just a cat. But in such a laughable story, somehow everyone else gets to be happy. The ones who relied on the cat, the ones who hated the cat, they all got exactly what they wanted. But what about the cat? It wants to go home, but no one remembers. The box is sealed shut, and the ones who put the cat in there have already turned their backs on it. Even the cat itself has forgotten. Isn't that so absurdly laughable?
She feels emotions very intensely. These are all signs of a very emotionally immature person. So why is Aemeath like this? For somebody who spent an unfathomable amount of time in void space, why does she act like such a kid? It's because she's emotionally stunted. She doesn't act all cheery just because. Her personality has depth, and that's what I like about this character. It's not just a bubbly, bright personality just for the sake of anime gotcha waifu. There's actually intense, sad lore behind it. So the question is, why is Aemeath like this? Basically, the simple way to put it is Rover leaving traumatized her deeply. It's the reason she acts like such a child. She was never able to move on from Rover leaving, and so she was emotionally stuck ever since he left. She hasn't moved on emotionally or matured emotionally, which is just very sad and interesting to me personally. I mean, we're talking about somebody who's traveled through void space, lost their lives, merging with the Extra Strider, but the most emotionally traumatizing thing was Rover leaving. Shame on Rover. He basically has to join Anime Hall of Fame with all the other deadbeats, with Goku and Gun's dad. He's right up there. I can't express how realistic this response is to emotional trauma. This is something that I have seen physically happen in my waking life to people around me. I don't really know the psychological term for it. I'm not a psychologist. That's why I called it repressed childhood trauma syndrome. But this can happen to you at any age. Something super traumatic can happen to you. And if it's really bad and you don't have a proper coping mechanism, it can stick with you potentially for your life if you don't handle it. Emotional trauma can stunt emotional growth, so that whatever age you were at or maturity of emotion you were at when it happened, it can leave you stuck there until you deal with that psychological trauma. And I think the subtlety of this bright personality having a dark side to it is just so well done. But I think what solidifies Aemeath's trauma and really drives this point home is what Aemeath decides to do as a profession. Aemeath became obsessed with becoming a superhero to follow Rover's shoes. And of course, there's multiple ways to look at this. There's multiple reasons Aemeath might have decided to do this. The healthier reason might be because, typical like father, like daughter, you're very proud and infatuated with your parents, and so you want to be just like them and follow in their footsteps. But the darker and sadder reason she might have done this is to cope with Rover leaving. Aemeath might have not become a superhero just to make Rover proud, but also to bring Rover home. We can see through one of the ending cinematics that she didn't necessarily want to be a hero. I mean, she even says so herself at one point in the story that there's multiple things she could have been besides a superhero, but following Rover's footsteps was the call to action that led her to become the Extra Strider pilot.
To be honest, I never had some grand passion. Before I became a ghost, I just wanted to live an easy, happy life and try a little bit of everything. And my whole I want to be a savior thing? Well, that was just me trying to copy you.
I mean, Rover has suffered because of his duty to constantly save the world and lacks the ability to go home. So Aemeath thought if she became a hero and saved the world so Rover didn't have to, Rover would be free to do what he wants. Realistically, Aemeath knows what's best for Rover, or what he wants the most is to go to his homeland, but I think somewhere deep down in her heart she feels like if she saved the world, Rover wouldn't have to, and he might decide to come live with her again.
Long come to terms with this responsibility. I don't regret a thing. But still,
Wish I didn't have to leave.
I said, shut up! That is not home! That is not home!
The way she handles this whole void space, Rover trying to save the world situation, is due to her emotional trauma, which is why she handles the situation the way she does. Which is a very childlike way of handling an issue. Like, oh, you have to save the world? I'll do it, problem solved. Very simplistic, childlike solution. So where do we go from here? Overall, the number one character development I'm looking for with Aemeath is for her to stop clinging to Rover, even though realistically she's been through a lot and it makes sense. I just think for the character to develop, it would make perfect sense for her to become more independent emotionally and just not to rely on Rover as some sort of anchor for her emotions. I mean, Rover's a busy dude at the end of the day. He's got waifus to collect, places to be. He can't live around Aemeath forever. Even though this 3.1 patch is amazing, we gotta move on to Cyberpunk collab. So I think it'd be cool to see Aemeath obviously get out of void space, be able to live her own life. Most importantly, I think that's the number one thing that would be good for the character to develop. Maybe for her to mature a little bit, but her main selling point in this waifu collecting gacha game is her bubbly personality, so I don't see that changing anytime soon. But it would be cool for her to at least acknowledge that she is grown now and she doesn't need Rover for everything, and I think that would be the perfect character arc.
My only wish for you is that you live a happy life.
I see.